time, your gateway to the world. AFR! American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is January 17, 2013. Hope you had a lovely day and are finding a way to stay warm, especially if you're, in the Midwest and North. I know it's nice and warm and cozy for Toby all the time in Arizona.
Hey, come on now.
You got it. Easy. So, anyways, welcome everyone. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Our special guest tonight is Saint Toby One Kenobi, and I know, and we're going to be talking about personal awakening and hurrying to our deaths. 0 Point Heavens inside humans. Can you step out of the hurrying and worrying? So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call tonight at 218-339-8525. And if you'd like to join us on the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. Tobias Lars, or Saint Toby, is a personal awakening coach and the author of one of my favorite books, Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls, which you can find at his website, soulcounseling.com. And yay! Amazon posted my review, finally, after a few edits. So, the Thursday night, we'll call it a love fest that we have here in the chat room, is not allowed on Amazon. Dang it. What's up with that, Toby?
Sometimes we have to remember that even though we may like no rules, no taboos, and expressing ourselves freely, there are still places where they tell you can say or not say certain things, and we forget that.
There's rules.
I get shocked sometimes. Like I realize, wow, for 20 years, this lifetime, I've been so living in my own, my own reality of spiritual work and working with shamans and going out in the canyons of Arizona and having time travel and UFOs appear and, things that when I was 19, I realized there's when you were 12, when you were 1, from the beginning, we realized there's something terribly wrong in Denmark. There's something rotten in the whole system, uncle. The emperor is naked, fat, stinky, and there's something not right with the whole system, But sometimes it's like, oh, wow, they're still completely programmed people, and that's shocking sometimes that we realize, wow, they actually... I remember some young guy wrote me I have some song on YouTube. It's called Everything is Turning Upside Down. All our leaders are looking like clowns. And it goes on from there. Teachers are supposed to teach. They just seem to worry about... Teachers are supposed to educate, but they just seem to worry about if you're late. Doctors are supposed to heal, but it's mostly in death they deal. And lawyers are supposed to keep the playing field fair, but let's not even go there. But anyway, some young guy wrote me and said, why would you make a video like this? God puts people in positions of power because they're supposed to be there for us. And, I understand that level of innocence, but sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. There's actually people that are completely programmed and actually believe that Dr. Kildare is actually daring to kill you. Hello. Duh.
There's rules.
Yeah, and that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, do you get the last part there? Drug Administration. They're administering drugs to the nation. The first time ever last night I saw an ad on TV for medicine abuse now. They're running ads. Remember they used to run that ad way back? Hey, this is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs, right? And all the illegal, illicit drugs, and now they're finally come around to there's actual, Mothers Against Medicine Abuse. There's no difference except that if I drive half a mile, there's a CVS and a Walgreens right there on opposing corners.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
With giant signs that says, get your flu shot, 1995. You walk in here, we got fluorescent lights that will scramble your brain waves to the point where you're so zombied out that you'll need to get something, that you were feeling okay before you walked in there, but it would, you get enough fluorescent light energy going through your particular electroencephalogram thing. Oh my God. Anyway, so sometimes we forget that there is a world that is still completely programmed. But there certainly is, it seems to be a division of the wheat from the chaff. There's a separation going on of people that are wanting nature everywhere around the country. In Las Vegas, there's like empty dust lots, dirt lots that people are adding water to and growing their own veggies. In the middle of cities, it's beautiful. So there's this huge shift away from the plastic fantastic, the fake better living through chemicals, and the whole fake system that has separated us from source, from God, from love, from smelly dogs in the rain, which is beautiful. So I'm very encouraged actually that millions, for the first time in about 6,000 years, millions and millions of people are realizing that the emperor has no clue, the king sucks, the false authorities. Let's not throw the whole baby out with the bathwater here, right? There are good authorities too. You have to learn to separate the wheat from the chaff. Sift it, flour from whatever else is in the flour. So there are good authorities too. I have authorities I work with all the time. I work with masters that are. I trust them completely, implicitly, I work with the voice of God, when it shows up in a little child or when I'm out and about somewhere. It comes at you from everywhere. The voice of source, your own higher self, your own intuition can come at you from everywhere. It can be from a homeless guy at the gas station. It can be in the middle of Walmart. Yes, it can. I know it's a deep, deep, deep undercover, but it's possible. My Hopi medicine man, who is a true master. Now, I'm going to say something that most people are going to go, come on now, that's not real. Tobias, that can't be real. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not real. If you don't believe it, you can't see it.
Yes.
Because you filter it out, You filter it out. I've watched repeatedly in this lifetime spirits appear in the room that other people cannot see. And I've watched them materialize strongly. And if they materialize strongly enough, people fall forward and just go out like a hypnotist does. When a hypnotist, people, they ready, 3, 2, 1, sleep. Just like that, except it's not being done with mind control. It's just being done because you're upping the vibes in the room, and the brain, the logical left brain, that needs everything categorized, inquiring minds, the National Enquirer collective consciousness, goes to sleep. Because they can't handle the busting of their paradigm,
Yeah, definitely.
Because they can't handle the busting of their paradigm is why they're trying to survive on a paradigms.
That's a good analogy, Tobias.
Well, in the thing, looking at Mother Tit government to take care of us. Now, while you're going through your awakening, you will often go through a period of less money than you had inside the system, because the system will punish you to get you to try to go back to it. I remember a woman that attended one of our seminars years and years ago. She was the head of a psychiatric department at a major city hospital. And I remember her just saying, yeah, I'm administering drugs to kids, young kids. And she's like, but they are paying me a bucket load of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, this is your soul's choice this lifetime. Because when you quit that $250,000 a year job, that was like 20 years ago, it'd been like $500,000 today probably. You will go through a period of, I don't have automatic, giant big checks getting deposited in my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Living inside. So there is a chastening and awakening period. I went through that. where you will have seemingly less money. You don't have to do it this way, but it's kind of like when you're coming off heroin detox, it's like a prostitute getting off selling herself for the money. There's a period there where you're going to have less money than you did the other way.
Yes.
Well, we're all prostitutes to the system. We're all prostitutes to the mother tit of government or whatever, right? And when you're coming off that and building your true sustenance, true abundance from source, there is often a period. So I'm not saying that. But, and that is just how it is. It's, when you're coming off a addiction, there's a period of withdrawal. And your new life gets built up a different foundation. So, by the way, I was driving home last week from Nevada, 5 degrees below zero in Flagstaff, Arizona was the prediction tonight.
5 below?
5 below, Christie.
Where you live?
No, in Flagstaff.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, yeah, so it's winter.
Yeah, I know, but it's chilly, and the record for Flagstaff, Arizona is 23 below.
Wow.
It's cold here, too. It was really cold for us. It froze, even down here in the Valley of the Sun. So I drove the other way. I didn't go through Flagstaff and Sedona, but I came the highway directly from Wickenburg, through Wickenburg and Wickiup and through the Joshua Tree Forest, and I stopped for the sunset, and it was cold. It was freezing, and to watch the desert be freezing cold, to feel that as the sun sets is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of liking it. We're like, wow, look, we have to wear jackets, man. It's really cool.
It did get a little nippy when I was out there, actually. As soon as the sun went down, it's like, okay, where's the blinky? But good. You deserve to freeze.
Oh, we love it. Thank you. Oh, it's kind of nice, isn't it? Because we know it was like going to be 70 next week. So.
Hey, how's the puppies? Now, are they hurrying to their deaths as well, or are they special?
They're still, they're still enjoying the newness of life.
Yeah.
They've all, Miley, our dog, and Bentley, they had puppies. We let them have one litter. Please, no pet Nazis. Don't contact me. You shouldn't have litter. Only adopt dogs. Shut up. Get a life. Quit being a busybody in everybody else's life. I agree. For the vast, vast majority of people, spay and neuter your dogs unless you're with them and can watch them. And that's very hard to do. Okay, I agree with that. But nature also made us the way we are. And in the deeper thing, nature can rebalance. The overpopulation is the symptom of a fallen state. I'm going to say that again. I know the Darwinists of the world are going to say, oh, it's not true. It's just how it is. It's a shotgun panspermia across the universe. We create trillions of sperms and eggs, and just whoever survives, survival. No, that's not how it works. That's a false belief system, and I've been through it. I was a biologist. I did that at the university. I was a biologist, so I know it from the inside out. There's actually a regulatory system, regulated by consciousness, that is spread from the center source of the universes, that is relayed to the center of galaxies, that is then relayed to each and every star that is part of that galaxy, and it's done through information. Information, like we know fiber optic, is just light. You ever look at a fiber optic cable when it's on? There's some light coming through that thing. Optic lights. Well, the fiber optic of the sun has, billions more terabytes than our biggest servers sitting wherever they are for the internet. And so there's information that comes beautifully. There's experiments now where you literally can completely crank it up to 3,000 degrees or 1,000 degrees, whatever it is, Celsius. Just takes beach sand. Now feel this. I'm going to do a little scientific experiment here. Beach sand, okay, pure silica sand. Put it in a test tube or a ceramic, burner thing, but a test tube. You can completely sterilize this at 1,000 degrees Celsius, where there's absolutely no living bacteria. Nothing can survive. Okay, you can put it in an antiseptic, sealed environment. Okay, nothing can get in there. But if you shine light through it, if you expose it to the sun, it will start creating tiny little living creatures. How do they get in there?
Yeah, how?
The sand, which has some carbon, silica stuff in it, and the oxygen and the water molecule, and then water and molecules. Just from those two things, now without light, it doesn't happen. Now feel that. Without the light, if you keep it in the dark, nothing happens. It stays sterilized. If you add sunlight to it through the glass even, it will start creating little... This is going to blow the minds of the Darwinists, the biologists, because it's going to prove that light is the source of life.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
There are a few scientists that are finding these studies, but as usual, the ones that are way ahead of the curve get smashed, like Tesla. They get made fun of or shut down, or Raymond Rife or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is coming that this life is light that...
That makes a lot of sense, Tobias. Life is light, but it is that time. So hang on, everyone. We will be back after this short break. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with the most politically correct spiritual teacher you will ever hear.
Spiritually correct, too.
Yes. Politically correct, spiritually correct. And, oh, by the way, no laughing aloud.
Christie, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Oh, my God. Did you know about the cutest stories that came about because of that? We'll save that for next time.
No, I saw some of it. And, it's all feedback, though, don't you think? I mean, we all get feedback. I annoy people sometimes, a lot.
Yeah, but I changed and tried to look at it as an opportunity to help someone. And it turned into like one of the most beautiful, lovely experiences ever. Definitely the best experience this week. So, and it happened more than once from that video. So, yeah, really beautiful. Yeah. They're like, I was hurting inside. I'm so sorry. And, which that doesn't matter. It was just kind of funny to me. But for those of you wondering, what the heck are you talking about? We might as well fill them in. We posted a video that Tobias and I did, and a few people were just unnerved, completely unrattled because of my laugh. And anyways, a couple days later, I decided to make a video, and somebody posted it on Facebook saying, oh, my gosh, can you believe they're trying, people don't want her to laugh? And so the first two comments were like, oh, my God, shut her up, gag her. And then, I decided just to, offer them a hug, kind of. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it started off like, well, if you were right here with me physically right now, which probably their mentality, they were thinking I'd punch them in the face. And I'm like, you know what, I would just give you a great big hug. And, because possibly you might, I can't remember exactly how it all transpired, but like 10 minutes later, there was like a huge, very, very sweet apology. And, they basically disclosed their whole life story to me and all of the pain and feelings that they've been holding in. And, oh, my gosh, you're so right. I am hurting and lonely inside. And that's why, others' genuine laughter and happiness doesn't feel authentic to me because I haven't been able to do it. And, every day since then, I've been getting updates and, thanks and gratitude and, cute little stories about how they were able to think about it today and laugh and bring happiness into their daily life despite whatever circumstances they were experiencing. So, yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to say this, too, though. I mean, you and Louis got a little harsh with people on there, just for truth-telling's sake.
I'm not responsible for what Louis does.
No, not Louis, but I'm talking about you as well. You weren't totally nice, were you?
Well, I think I was. I said, well, maybe it's a reflection of you.
Okay.
Maybe you don't think it's sincere, and, because people telling me I need to change, so I would just laugh. Really? I need to? Maybe it's you that needs to look in the mirror. So I don't know if you think that's rude. I guess that's your opinion. I don't remember what it was, but we could look at it. But I want to say... I'm not responsible for what Louis says and does.
No, I'm saying... Right. So... What I find when someone's, it's like when both of us take our guard down, you know what I mean? Or someone starts and says, okay, like you said, let me give you a hug or let me be open, that often brings about the miracle, like you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful. And I find then, the most mileage I get is if I go, okay, I love this story about Yogananda and his master. Now, these guys are like, they're, when you're talking a master, but this is a level of measuring our power, our involvement, when you can levitate and you can do different things and you can read people's minds and you don't care, you don't misuse it, but you have all these powers available, but you don't use them unless Source God says, okay, now is appropriate. You're aligned with Source of the universe. So Yogananda's master is literally, he resurrected his body. If you research this, I totally believe that. So these guys have some level of evolvement, is what my point is. One day they're sitting in their satsang, and somebody bursts through the door and starts attacking Yogananda. And this is why Yogananda's learning from him. He's young. Starts attacking Sri Yukteswar and says, you're misleading the youth, and you guys need to just sit here. You're parasites of society, and what do? You give people the wrong impression. Just starts berating him, and, you need to get out some fresh air and get a real job, blah, blah, blah. It's a spiritual stuff. It's just a bunch of nonsense, right? Yogananda, who was a big guy, actually, stood up as the guy started and said, I'm going to toss you out on your butt. He was still a young guy. Then his master said, no, Yogananda, let's let him talk. And so the guy talked and, said what his opinion was about how they sucked and how horrible they were and all this stuff, right? And then at the end of it, Yogananda, I think the guy actually talked himself out of it, just like you were talking about, Christie, where he finally said, okay, and then had a conversion. He kind of woke up and, I'm angry at the world, this type of thing. And then later, Yogananda's master was talking to him. He said, why'd you let that guy come in? He said, well, because even if they are programmed, and even if they're reactive, even if they're very angry and they're projecting on you, like you're feeling this guy's doing, right? He's projecting something on you, right, Christie, about your laugh or whatever, right? It's his opinion. Yeah. Even if people are projecting on you, to sit and listen to their criticism can be a very interesting self-analysis and go, is there a shred of truth, or is there a shred of grain of truth behind what they're saying? Is there something there? Because once we start being open to hearing feedback, even if it's crazy feedback. So that's the lesson Yukteswar taught Yogananda. They said, they don't have to be all together, but kind of self-examine, because it's something happening in your universe. It's happening in your universe. It's reflecting to you. So I find that when I have stuff happening at me or people saying stuff, or I can, to discern, okay, that's their stuff. That I'm not sure of. Well, maybe I do have some of that. Or how is that making me feel? You use all of it as feedback for your reality system. And then I find that the healing tends to really happen. Like if you can sit there, now the ideal is speaking without offending and listening without defending. Okay? I'll say that again. The ideal is to speak without offending, right? And to listen without defending. But someone has to start. And often I find the real healing and the magic of the heart, like when someone finally says, okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that, blah, blah, blah. And then to also look at ourselves. Is there any grain or shred of truth in what they're saying? So that's the approach that I like. Because otherwise, anyway, reflection is reflection.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not going to not be happy because other people aren't happy with themselves right now. So, yeah, there's, being open to listening to constructive criticism or even destructive criticism. I'm all for it. I don't delete my comments. I let people, talk crap about me wherever they want, whenever they want, and they still stay posted up. I don't tell them they're wrong. But I'm not going to necessarily accept it as universal truth. Exactly.
You listen with your third ear. First your stance has to be, let me hear, like Sri Yukteswar is doing with the crazy guy running in the room, interrupting their meeting and starting to yell and scream at him because his programming says this spiritual stuff is a bunch of malarkey and you're all lazy and parasites on society, right?
Yeah.
Saying that to someone who turns out to, they're obviously not, right? These guys create massive healing and yoga and stuff for the planet, right? But even so, to self-examine, it's about me healing myself.
Yeah.
So the stance changes from instead of defending all the time, is like, to listen without defending. It's an interesting practice.
Yeah.
And to try to speak without offending, Battle is battle, when we attack each other, and if there's two sides attacking, it goes nowhere. And if someone says, okay, let me try to interrupt it, like a timeout, in the middle of a fight, go, oh, wait, let me take a deep breath, a God breath, and go, okay, let me just try to hear it. Or even notice yourself. I'm triggered. I'm plugged in. I feel attacked. It is in this conscious awareness, getting conscious, noticing our own reactions, that we have a shot at getting some presence, God source. This is the essence of Jesus' teaching, turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
What he's doing there is going, let me feel it. It's not about Pontius Pilate. It's not about these Sanhedrin I've upset. It's not about them. It's about the forces that are controlling them And what part in me, now Jesus I know is a loaded example to use, okay? I know that because of everybody's religious beliefs about it. But there's an essence there of in the middle of a fight with your partner, in the middle of you getting plugged in road rage, or something, to just interrupt it. It's like, time out. Let me just take a deep breath and go, let me feel what's real. Yep, that's their stuff. They're projecting on me. Or, I don't know. God, show me what's real. Source, my higher self, show me what's really real. Do you want healing? I'm saying all of us. Do we want healing more than we want to be right? Or even to point things out to people, sometimes? So that's my 2 cents. And that's a choice, isn't it? I consciously go into, okay, F you and F you too. And I know what that's like, right? You're right. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, and you're doing that. That's the mind. The mind locks horns. It locks horns, and it has good ammunition about, I'm right, you do that, you have this in you, that may be completely accurate, and the other person is seeing something accurate in the other person, but we're not able to hear it. So that listening without defending and speaking without offending is a really interesting practice. Or, for example, it might show up like this way. In the midst of getting plugged in, listen, right now I'm plugged in, talking to your partner or whoever, because people on the street, they are very easy to tilt. Most people haven't been taught this at all. But if you can actually learn to do it with each other, okay, I'm plugged in, I'm feeling you're making me wrong, I can't hear what you're saying, I want to defend, I want to attack you back, I feel hurt. That is huge progress, being able to say it to each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Just that. And notice, Eckhart Tolle says it nicely this way. He says, be at least as interested in what's happening for you, your feelings, exactly, on the inside. Be at least as interested in what's happening for you on the inside as what's happening on the outside. In other words, them saying that to me, that person, pricking my heart, hurting me a little bit, what's that about? Because it really ends up, you are playing with yourself, your own universe.
I like playing with myself. Oh, I'm sorry, it's showtime.
I knew that would be. So I find that interesting. Like that conversation you talked about, I say, I feel it and go, okay, do I need to monitor any of this? Because there was some harsh stuff going back and forth between some people. And then I go, I give myself choice because it's my channel. I'm just being honest, right? I mean, I can say, well, I don't like that level of dialogue here, just attacking if it goes into that. But but I could feel, I go, nah, just let it go. Just let it be. And it seems like something good came out of it.
A lot of good came out about that. But we won't waste your time here on the show tonight. I did post about it, and did a little follow-up video. But it is that time. We have to take a short break. So stay tuned, everyone. We will be back with personal awakening coach Tobias Lars of soulcounseling.com. Stay tuned. Soul Journeys Radio.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out. The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars here on Soul Journeys Radio. And if you would like to join us for the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. Any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call at 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. We are talking about 0-point heavens inside us humans and the internal eternal. And, I know it might seem like we kind of, went off topic last segment with the no laughing aloud, but I actually think it is actually really appropriate with this topic because it seems that you hit the nail on the head, Tobias, hurrying to our deaths, the whole hurrying and worrying, and that's kind of what we're doing. We forget to take time to play, to take time to, smell the roses, so to speak, and it seems like we're caught in this, rat race, and, and we kind of have conscious moments, sitting in traffic to drive to our jobs. We're like, gosh, isn't this Groundhog Day? Didn't I just do this yesterday? Like, what's the point of all of this? So, is there, why are we hurrying to our deaths? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's a deep program in us. In the video I put along with the topic, go stand over a freeway overpass between 6:30 and 8 in the morning, and between 4:30 and 6 at night, and just go, where are we all driving to?
Yeah.
And why are we polluting the planet so much by doing it? And why are we stressing ourselves, and this is why a true master, you'll notice that they get very calm. St. Teresa of Avila used to go into she'd become immobile, actually. They'd have to, carry her around. She'd enter the timeless, no-time, space place for days on end. St. Teresa of Avila, made famous by Dan Brown's book, Angels and Demons, Bernini's famous statue in Rome about the ecstasy of St. Teresa. But she was a real person, real being. I went there as a young guy. I was 19. I went to Avila, Spain, just because I wanted to be where she was. Not because probably because I'm not a Catholic. I didn't grow up with any stuff, no religious stuff in my life at all. We were atheists or just sort of pragmatists, scientists, the way my family, I was raised. So we have this shift from being with things to having to do things.
Yeah.
And that's represented by the exile from the Garden of Eden in the Western tradition, Instead of just being able to be, being able to be in the garden. Yeah. In the garden, you can eat of any tree, anything you want. You can be naked. It's an eternal, beautiful spring, summer, and besides, you're fine. Your energy is strong enough to heat and cool you. You can enjoy each other you're now exiled, and you in sweat and toil shalt thou earn thy bread. Now you have to do stuff to survive. That's the biggest lie of all. Like when people say, you have to work hard. That's bull. God doesn't work hard. God doesn't work hard. Does Jesus work hard right now? No. Is Jesus incredibly efficient and active, and Krishna and Buddha, are they incredibly efficient, active? Are they getting a million more things done than you did today, than I did today? Yes. But they don't work hard. They don't push themselves. They don't hurt themselves. They don't get their cortisol levels so high that they get this huge fat they can't get rid of, because cortisol is stressed from the adrenal glands. I think that's how it works. So there's doingness. You have to do, instead of be. See, automatic doingness happens out of beingness. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all this stuff will just get taken care of for you. It worked for me. Hooked on phonics. No.
Yeah.
I saw that at the gym today. I was like, really? That's still in the collective? But I remember telling my business partner at the time, we came home from lunch one day in time, and I'm in he calls it the parking lot speech. To this day, I said, I don't want to do anything anymore that I don't really want to do.
Yeah.
Period. Now, I could kind of do that because I didn't have kids and I didn't have a mortgage at the time. And he said, I couldn't argue with that because we were doing a spiritual business as well. We were doing these seminars. And he said, I agree. But he also said, I knew right then and there that our business was over because you were going to go off on some radical search, Tobias, which I did. Mm-hmm. And I got taken care of. I got totally taken care of by the universe. Was I scared? Yes. Was I down to my last $20 occasionally? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was I, did I go through bankruptcy? Yes. Did I get divorced? Yes. Did people think I was suicidal? Yes. Was I? No. I was getting real with God, real with the universe, telling it, I don't want to live this way. If I want to go back inside the gates of Garden, I want to go inside the gates again, God. And he said, no problem. Let's get to work. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But it's not get to work. It's more like, let's get on with it. Let's do it. You relax. I sat in my room. For 3 years, I did nothing except, get up and go to the bathroom.
So you did it 3 years in a row then, huh? Because I've done it 3 years, but it's been like 2 weeks here, a month there, a few days there. So you got it over in one wallop, huh?
Well, I think I had about a year and a half of... I gave myself total freedom. I had some money saved up, right? And so I just gave myself total freedom of, here's an apartment, and what do I want to eat? Anything I wanted. Like I wanted it to self-balance. I didn't want to push myself. Mm-hmm. Life is about pushing myself. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And so that's a radical thing. I understand. I'm not recommending it for people until it's your soul's time to do it. And then it's going to come smashing through your door and break down your wall, and it's going to happen anyway, so it doesn't matter. But, yeah, I would tell God, source, I'd say, look, I'm not telling anybody that I'm out of money. If you don't take care of me, then, I'm off the planet. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sincere about it. I wasn't belligerent. I wasn't blasphemous. I wasn't, in denial, hate. I was hating and angry and hurt and pain and all that. This is our shadow now. This is working with your shadow. This is the personal awakening. This is the personal healing. And I didn't want to hurry anywhere, and I didn't. I slept till 1. I just decided to sleep exactly as long as I wanted to.
Yeah.
And my body, I could eat anything I wanted. Anytime, anywhere, anytime. And what happened then is a natural thing started happening in me that said, I want that, instead of I should have that, or I shouldn't have that. And I find there is actually something beautiful naturally inside us that wants that which makes us feel good.
Definitely.
And you don't need to live in a militaristic prison. You don't need to should on yourself.
Yeah.
And that to do that, though, to undo that is a bunch of purging. You need to, purge all those programs out of yourself. And that doingness, the rush, stress, push, is a deep fear survival instinct we have. You have to live through the fact that miracles would happen. I got taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
When I finally needed to have some money to pay the rent 3 years later or whatever it was, because I got a cheap apartment at the time and whatever, and my bills were nothing, basically except rent. And a friend called and said, hey, Tobias, you want to drive my limo on the weekends,
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. I didn't tell anybody I needed any work at all, and I would make, whatever it was, $400 or $500 on the weekends, and that paid everything, it was cool. And I would tell the universe, and God helped it. You have to be sincere. You have to be real about it. You can't be hiding anything. You can't be fake. You can't disrespect the universe. You can't diss the universe. It knows your BS anyway. So get real with it, and you will learn. You will find a natural place where you will not be run by the world anymore as much. No, I'm not 100% there, but I am. I can go back to that anytime. I know I can just go, I quit. But I don't want to quit what I'm doing because it's actually I want to in me. I want to do the seminars. I want to do the Course of Awakening seminars. By the way, we're thinking of doing a Listening to the Sun weekend here in the Valley of the Sun somewhere, maybe at a hot spring or somewhere in March. People could
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, get some sun on your bones.
Yeah, or even do it over Skype or something. I don't know.
That as well.
Yeah.
We're going to do both.
Future teleseminars for Tobias coming up, but we have to take a short break, so stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back in these few short minutes. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Top of the second hour here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars. He is a personal awakening coach and the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls, which you can find at his website, soulcounseling.com, or you can check out, I think you have some events coming up here soon at spiritualtravelers.com. So Tobias, before we get into back into the topic, what events do you have coming up?
No, actually I wanted to talk about the Listening to the Sun get together.
Okay.
Yeah, as part of Course of Awakening, we're gonna Mark's helping me with this too. It's a good idea, like
yeah.
Let people read the book. If people sign up for it, we'll send them the book, Listening to the Sun, for the right people. I mean, people say it really helps them, and I really appreciate you, Christie, and Stephen, and Casey, and whoever put some comments on Amazon. It was really warmed my heart 2 days ago. It was very, very sweet, very beautiful. Thank you. And so we want to let people read the book because there's a ton of info in there about sort of like, wow, that's another, it really helps wake people up. And even though it's a short book, 200 pages, and then do a Listening to the Sun gathering in the Valley of the Sun. Come here when you're tired of your rain and you're huddled and you're poor and you're cold, come down here and we'll find some beautiful place where we can have a little retreat in March and April and warm your bones in the 75-degree weather and get some sun on yourself. And we'll do a 2-day weekend of just the Socratic dialogue, which is basically whatever triggered you in the book, what you're more interested in, the sex parts, the ETs, the UFOs, the sun, the spiritual growth, the work about romance, relationships, whatever. How can we create this new paradigm, this new way of doing things? And so just let the natural topics, every person can ask questions and just build the energy with that. So we're thinking of doing that sometime. March 21st would be good. That's the spring equinox. That would be a really good day to do it because that's beginnings and new life and all that stuff. So look for that on courseofawakening.com. And by the end of the week, we're going to have a page there that will show our seminars as well. Right now it's the Course of Awakening seminar.com, but courseofawakening.com is enough. In just a week or two, we'll have these new seminars listed there as well.
Excellent. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And I might be going back up to Nevada in February. That would be great. Maybe Las Vegas. Some other people have been talking about Course of Awakening. We want to give people tools, personal tools to actually use the inner body awakening. You know, the heart energy now is everywhere. It's showing up everywhere, you know. I put that video out like a year or two ago about the heart energy and how to work with the torus field in your heart and how to start allowing your heart to be the central director of your life. And we've been programmed to be unconscious, whether it's hurry, hurry, worry, worry, do, you know, scared, or the fact that you're just flotsam and jetsam with your heart feelings. Most of the time, people are just scared when their heart opens up, you know. They feel love for somebody, and they're like, oh, my God, that's vulnerable. I better not do that. That's the dominant, controlling paradigm on Earth right now, is there's something wrong with feeling your heart. And that's BS. And heart isn't always... It's like at weddings, and, you know, people get overwhelmed at their wedding. Or I watched something recently, they did a 25-year anniversary of Elvis's performance, you know, when he did the black leather performances in 69 or whatever it was, or I forget the dates here now. And the man in the audience his wife was having a huge, like, feeling love as Elvis sings this song, if I can dream of a better place, then why can't my dream come true? Right? He's opening his heart. He's pouring it out on the stage, you know. And this woman in the audience, she's breaking open. She's crying. And the husband turns to her and laughs at her, you know. Because the fucking man, because the man is scared. That part of us, not just the man, women too, we're scared to feel. So she's opening, she's crying, she's letting it move. We don't break down, we break open. And we're so scared of that, and we make fun of it, you know. And then we do that at our own peril. So the heart is actually very, very strong. It's not just namby-pamby. It's time to have courageous heart, step up with the heart, feel your heart. Come on, real men feel their heart. It's easy to shoot people in the head, you wimps. Fucking cowards. You're cowards. You're cowards picking up guns and shooting each other in the head. You're cowards. A real man would feel his heart and open his heart. Cowboy up. Get some balls.
All right. Tobias said it here.
Come on. I know you do. I know that bumper. Real men love Jesus. And I always want to add to the bottom of that. And maybe each other too, perhaps, instead of shooting each other in the head.
Yeah. No, but as long as you're killing for Jesus, it's okay.
Right.
You know, getting to the feeling thing, since you brought it up, Tobias, there's a listener who perceived what you had said in a video that you and I did together, talking about men and women and, you know, some of the things that kind of shut us down, the archetypes and such. He perceived you as saying that men don't need to talk about their feelings.
Well, we do it differently. Again, here's a spectrum, you know. Like in my relationship, I talk about my feelings more than Joy does. The man in this relationship talks about his feelings a bit more than Joy does, because I've been at it for 20 years, and she was taught by our society you can't do that, right? So it depends. It's a spectrum, by the way.
Yeah.
Men do it differently, and it's nice for men to get together. You don't have to talk about things, but you do have to acknowledge the feelings, the energy. Okay, feel the difference here. Acknowledging the energy honestly and openly. Now feel that. Acknowledging the energy openly and honestly. Now that can be done with words, or it can be done with a look, or a touch. Acknowledging the energy openly and honestly. That's the healing. All things shall come to light. Some men are like, they won't openly talk about it until it's real. And sometimes women will talk a lot about it, but it doesn't get quite as deep as the man would like it to do. When my dad finally talked, it was because his heart really wanted to. Yeah. So what I'm saying there is don't judge. Sometimes women can nag and go, you should talk about your feelings. You should talk about your feelings. You should shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I will talk about my feelings when I'm damn ready. Okay, I'm doing it from the Mars male perspective right now.
For sure.
And from the woman's perspective, it's, hey, you know, please, Tommy, could you actually have a real feeling once in a while instead of sedate it with beer? Right? Both points are valid. Yeah. The trick is to start learning to, we want the connection. Sometimes it's just reaching over and touching someone while you're driving, touching their neck, loving them, you know. Forced love sucks. Say you love me, say you love me, say you love me. That's not love.
Like, shut the hell up.
I love you. And then they're expecting you to say I love you back. That's not love. That's guilt. Okay. Guilt is not love. Spontaneous love, real love, God treats us with real love. God says, what do you want to do? I will support you.
Yeah.
God gives us total freedom. The universe, source, gives us total freedom. Do what thou wilt. That's the deal. I'm sorry, folks. You need rules until you don't. The whole of the law is love. Once you have love inside your heart, you don't need laws. Good people don't need laws. Fallen people need laws.
Mm.
God's laws, source's law, the universe's law is much higher than Judge Finkelberger. Right?
Yeah.
Judges are just, you know, whatever. It's nice when they work with, and we need that until we don't. But so, men need to feel, everyone needs to feel their energies and feel their feelings. They don't necessarily have to talk about it, but they need to openly acknowledge and share them, and that can be with a touch or a look, and sometimes guys will do it this way. They had a fight, they disagreed, they did something shitty to each other, they disrespected, something was bad, okay, and then you meet them at a social, you know, you see your buddy that you got a beef with, and you're like, you look at him and go, hey. And sometimes that hey is all it takes, hey. And you look at each other, and the other guy will go, it's all, yeah. And he just nods his head, you're done, it's cool, you're square, you're fine. Now, the women will tend to do it differently, which is, you know, honey, last time when that happened, I really wanted to, I don't know what was going on, I wanted to apologize. Can we talk about it? Can you come over here, please? I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. And you know, and then it'll go on for a half hour about the kids and all that other stuff, which is fine, but don't make men do that if they don't want to.
Yeah, definitely.
And men also give your woman time to just talk. She comes home and, honey, this happened to me. Just let her talk. Just hold space for her. Just love her. Go up and grab her. Just embrace her while she's talking. Kiss her. Hold her. Put your cheek next to hers. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Just hold her. Just like a little 3-year-old who's coming up and going, Daddy, 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 and just hold them. Just hold your child. So we can do that for each other. So it's not about talking necessarily, but it is about acknowledging openly and honestly the feelings and the energy. And that can be done 1,000 different ways. Because God is a master artist. He doesn't just paint one cookie. He doesn't just do one cookie-cutter way of doing it. So open up right now, everybody listening, in your heart. I open myself to multiple myriad ways of openly acknowledging my energy and my feelings in a healthy way. I open myself to multiple ways, new ways, surprising ways, because it's fun to do it new ways. I open myself to new ways, to opening my energy, to being honestly acknowledging my energy and my feelings.
Yeah.
That's what makes a good movie.
Yeah, and it's a really good point, because sometimes, you know, when we're in the midst of it, we expect others to take care of things the way we do. You know, well, I would say this, so that means he or she has to say this, or say it that way, or say it at that time, or do it this way. But, yeah, you're so right. We need to consciously open ourselves up to receiving others' ways of dealing with issues, for sure. Very good points.
What you just said, Christie, I am so guilty of that. Like, I expect...
Me too.
I expect Joy to be like me. It's like we automatically expect, can't you talk? Let's talk about it totally. What are you feeling right now? And to someone who likes to process their feelings by themselves, that is really annoying after a while. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. We're all guilty and we're all getting better. How's that? So let's go give our significant other a big hug.
Now, frickin', and at the same time, in the same breath, we're together for a reason. You're teaching me to be more open with my feelings, and you're teaching me to shut up sometimes. See?
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm thinking of, in dynamics, often there's a reason. You've brought your partner into your life for a reason. Many reasons.
Yes. And
that is to learn from each other, to give to each other, to gift something beautiful, a master talent to each other. I love when I feel the wisdom and joy. That feeds me. Like when she's like, I want my partner to go, here's the wisdom I have. And it's like, oh, God, that just feeds me. I just feel all good inside. You know, I love you. Mm-hmm. When I'm open to it. When I'm reacting to it, it's annoying, right? When I'm going, that's not the right way to do it. You should do it my way.
Yeah.
Then it's annoying. But you have your partner in a life for a reason, and it can be for only a season. There's no fixed rules about stuff. But there's something you're sharing and gifting, and soulmates have many different gifts. Sometimes the soulmate is just, look, I've had people do this for me. Tobias, I don't want to take your course. I don't want to learn all that fancy stuff, but I want to help you with this. I want to fix your car or something. Mm-hmm. That's their way of acknowledging help. But then, you know, God gives appropriately. The universe knows exactly what the appropriate gift is. There's the master giver gives appropriate gifts. Doesn't overgive, doesn't undergive. You can have this talent too. Right now, I'm allowing it into my energetic field. You're a plasma egg, because that's what you are. You're an egg of energy. You're egg energy. The incredible egg. That's what you are. You're a fountain of source energy. Period. You can't argue with that. Your heart is a portal. Your heart is a 0-point portal into the universe. Your heart is a stargate. You are a fountain of everlasting, effervescing energy. Period. You can't argue with that. You are. You can argue with it, but it doesn't negate the fact that that's what you are. We're all arguing with that. Everyone on the planet right now, just about, most everyone, is arguing with the fact that they are gods. I am an effervescing, eternal, energetic fountain. But I'm arguing with that. But I'm scared. I don't have enough. I have lack. I can't do this. You know, all that is a bunch of hysterical arguing with the fact that ye are gods. Jesus told them to their face, you are gods. Now shut up and go do it. Quit kvetching and bitching at me. No. And then he would embrace them and love them and soothe them and heal them and do all that we all have to do and that we want to do. When you want to. By the way, anyone out there that's a teacher, you don't have to do it. God won't hold it against you. There's no guilt in God's universe. He says, you want to quit, Tobias? Go for it.
Yeah.
You want to run a brothel in Nevada, Tobias? God says, I love you. I don't care what you do. I love you.
I'd like to see that. Sure. All right, Tobias coming up next. We're going to hear about his new brothel in Nevada, but it's that time. We'll be back after these few short minutes. Stay tuned. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American
It's practically narcotic.
freedom
Oh, yes, I like very much.
radio.
They're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com. And I do see we have a caller on the line, so we will get to you in just a second. Tobias, it looks like one of the listeners came up with a name it could either fit for your new brothel or listening to the sun. It's Toby's No Robies Resort. Come on down and get down. Toby I'm sure he's laughing right now, but he muted himself, so we didn't hear him fart during the break. Time to unmute. Okay. Tobias, no, for reals, it's time to unmute. Okay. Alrighty. So maybe we're having some issues. Are you there, Toby-Wan Kenobi? Okay, maybe he's shy. He doesn't like that name so much, Noelle Man, so apparently he's not coming back. But, okay, well, while we figure out what's going on with him, then, do I hear him? Uh-oh, I hear something. There is something going on. Earth to Tobias. Okay, I'm hearing...
Can you hear that?
Oh, okay. Is this you?
Yeah. Do you hear that video in the background?
I think you're rapping.
Oh, so you can hear that, right?
Barely.
Okay. I don't know how that works still. I don't know how, like if I'm playing something else while I'm talking to you, it obviously doesn't play as loud as it does in my earphones.
Okay, so what do you think? Zero excuses, zero money down, come on down and get down at Toby's No Robies Resort. See, I knew you were laughing if you weren't muted. Okay, Tobias, we do have a caller on the line, so let's get to that. Area code 716, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. That sounds wonderful. I'd love to go join you, Toby. This is your friend Ben.
Hi, did you say Ben?
I just want to go to that resort. I just want to sit and stare for a good 20 to 30 minutes and get used to this heart energy that I'm certainly not used to.
That sounds good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's what I do every day. I have to take a break. Could happen anywhere. Sometimes.
Yeah, he even does it on the show, like when we're back break.
Christy, I am sorry. I did mute it and turn down the volume.
No, you think?
Well, you and Dean were having a love fest there. I don't want to interfere with that. See, now we're telling truth. Hey, the stuff in the background. So I tuned it down, and then I got absorbed on something on the internet, and then I'm there. And then when I just talked to you now, I thought we were still off the air. So anyway, I am semi back together, and so cool, Ben. Come on down. Yeah, March, April, we're going to do something here in the Valley of the Sun, where we, gather. Be nice.
You got me hooked. You got me hooked on you. I don't even. You smart little sorcerer. It's like I don't know what it is, but I just have a strong. I want to go to Arizona, and I feel that is a very good place to catch up, so to speak.
Hey, there's this place called the Eden Hot Springs where raw foodists get together, and it's really kind of a cool place. I'm looking at that. I'm going to go visit that place, I think, and check it out. And it's kind of in the middle of south here, so it's hot springs. They've got a bunch of hot springs, and some people do some retreats out there, and I'm going to go check it out. I will definitely be posting that stuff if we end up going.
Definitely interested in a retreat. And I honestly, it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter at this point. It's just, it's like I got a couple G's, and I'll go off and do whatever the heck I want. I don't have to think about money anymore. It's pretty much what you call the overflowing cup. I always have enough, and then I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. Daniel is a very powerful spirit, and we talked earlier, Daniel and I. You're a very powerful spirit, Daniel. I want you to be safe and happy and enjoy. I want you to be what you're meant to be. Bring the goodness. You are. You're bringing the goodness. You're bringing the godness. You're going to dissolve some people's stuff. I just don't want you to freak anyone out so they punch you in the face. Not too much.
It's so funny because, like, I don't know how other people feel, but when I listen, it's different. But when you get introduced, I get all like, oh, my adrenaline's all rushing and shit, and what is it? I'm just like, and then of course you think about what you're going to say or what you're about to say, and you're like, well, that's just stupid. Why I'm thinking about that stuff. And then you just whatever, just let it go. That's how I get into my heart zone. Is just stop that ridiculous yak. It's oh man, it's getting better.
You drop into it. And the way to do it is also you can literally just take what I call a full divine breath. You just take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then you just place your attention in your heart. It's like you're kind of settling down. That's what asana means. Yoga positions, asanas, means comfortable seat. And that means you're settled. You're sitting down inside yourself. In other words, you're centered. And in that centered place, you can let whatever comes out of you, it's all good. It's all okay. You can say whatever you say. And we are so smart. We know what to do, how to adjust with other people. You know, we know we can feel their energies. We can feel where they're at, you know. So that's the gift. I'm touching you with a magic wand, Daniel. Boom, boom. Like kind of like.
That's funny because I'm holding a magic wand made of holly.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm holding my wand, my personal wand named Lucretia.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just feeling that, so I saw like from the
that wand.
Yeah, please. Christie, please.
No ropes and probes. That's toes. Find your T-spot.
My magic wand in my hand, made from the holly tree of the holy wood of Hollywood.
He said wood.
The host. You cannot do it.
Not at all. I will twist everything you say. And
I could tell that earlier. When I said play with yourself, I was like, you can't say that. Christie will run with that immediately.
Oh, goodness. I'm so glad you pitched me softballs.
We are mixing the sacred and the profane together. Two as one. That's the new world we're bringing. The new two as one. We're mixing that which has been called profane back into the sacred. And innocence can do it totally safely. I love, like, when somebody comes over, you ever notice this? I thought about this today. The dogs will invariably go smell, the guest's crotch at some point, right? And you're like, it's just like we're all, and people pretending it's not happening. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And I remember this lady came over. She's like kind of like stepping sideways, and Miley's like smelling her crotch, and I'm like, see, they're totally natural with it now. So it's all good.
Yeah. So tell us more about your wand, Daniel.
I bought it from a Peruvian wand maker, and he handcrafted it himself from the holly tree, because the Druids believed that the holly tree was the wood that could contain the most spiritual energy here.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what Harry Potter has. He uses the holly tree wand too.
Yeah. Well,
I actually didn't even know that.
No, that's cool. It's true. I've heard of that. So I was just feeling this wand. I was touching your head and your shoulders going, and whatever it was you were supposed to get, that's what I was going your way. Something with grounded wisdom, with where the line is so you don't get punched in the face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Daniel, you sound so sweet and cute. We have a couple ladies in the chat that would like to know how big your wand is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's about 12 inches. They're shiny.
Okay, ladies, well, he isn't one of them that over-exaggerates while they're driving their really, really, really big truck. So that's a good sign. All right. I'm sorry, Daniel.
No, I don't care. That's funny.
Post a picture of Daniel. He's a good-looking young man.
Ooh, all right. Well, SoulJourneysRadio.com. There's some ladies ready to go and hear more about your wood, your holy wood.
Well, actually, come to think of it, I just got settled into a relationship.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm on speaker right now, so I hear myself echoing, and it's not fun.
Yeah, I can hear it too. All right, Mr. Hollywood. Maybe that'll take you to Hollywood or back or not if you don't want to. Let it feed you that magic wand for good, sacred, and some profane stuff. We mix that all together. There you go. I'm serious, Christie. Get Daniel to send you a picture and show those ladies. They'll like them.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby. Well, he does have a sweet voice and a sweet spirit, so thanks for calling in. And
thanks, Daniel.
Thanks for letting us have
See you later, guys.
Take care of that wood.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Oh, no, I'm afraid.
You're incorrigible.
I am. I felt like I was channeling Louie there for a moment. I don't know what's going on. But we do have another caller on the line, so hopefully they aren't too offended at that last exchange. Area code 816. Welcome to the show.
Hey, it's Julia.
Hey, Julia. How you doing?
Julia,
I'm good.
Julia, were you offended by that?
Neither is my 21-month-old yet, apparently. He just laughed. But, no, profane and profound. They're very similar, right?
Profane and profound, yeah.
And profound.
Mix them to... Yeah.
Word magic with Toby. Let's hear it.
It's all hiding in that which we have labeled as profane is where we will find that which is sacred. Of course. Of course.
The pro is found.
Yes. Before we are found before. Exactly. Go before, profound, go before they became profane, and you'll go back to the original Garden of Holy Wood and Happy Eden. Absolutely. Hey, that's a good name, Julia. Holywood.com.
Holywood? I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's the only reason you called in, right? Getting a little off.
No. I do have a question. Although this topic is pretty fun, so I don't know if I want to distract. But my question is, so there's some people, like somebody was saying to me today, we are, like, no one can make you feel a certain way, because I was talking about an argument I'd had with someone, and I feel, this or that or whatever afterwards. By the way, they were acting and whatever. And she said, oh, but no one can make you feel that way. You're responsible for your emotions, and you should just have an open heart, and the loving thing is to keep loving them through that, or whatever, but don't feed them. And, it's like, I guess don't feed the behavior or something. But at a certain point, I feel like it breaks down. Like, we do affect each other. Like, we can make someone else feel something.
Yes.
Like,
Julia, you are so wise. And you're tapping into your natural knowingness. Because any fixed position that says, that when people say that, they say, well, no one can make you feel anything you don't want to feel. That is kind of a pendulum swing away from that you're affected by what everyone's opinion of you is, and you can't protect yourself and you don't have any boundaries, right? It's sort of a reactionary swing all the way to the other end. Oh, no, I cannot. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never, right? No.
Right. Yeah.
The truth, the soft, organic, strong, velvet glove, steel, hand love is somewhere in the middle. Of course we affect each other, but we don't have to be controlled by someone else.
Absolutely. Very good point. It is that time, though. We will be right back. Stay tuned, everyone. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American
It's practically narcotic.
freedom
Oh, yes, I like very much.
radio.
They're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. My goodness. Last segment here. So we got a few short minutes left. Having way too much fun tonight. Kind of all over the place. But
I know.
I thank Daniel for calling in and gracing us with his holy wood.
And Julia.
And Julia, we still have her on the line, so here we go. Are you still there, girl?
No.
Julia?
Well, her question.
you have to unmute me. Unmute me.
You are
Unmute.
Julie.
Huh?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hey.
So that's a good point, what you were bringing up. We do affect each other. Of course we do. We can trigger feelings in another person. So this is where we're learning half-truth and, all that. We're finding our way. We swing one way all the way, like I'm not affected by anyone at all, or I'm totally affected by people. But, of course, we can affect each other, but we don't have to be caught up or controlled or hooked or snared. Someone saying something to us doesn't have to be like a grappling hook that attaches to us and then they can yank our chain and control us. But it can trigger things in us, and we can overwhelm people with feelings. I know that. We can overwhelm them. So there's some truth in the middle there of, okay, I am getting triggered and they are affecting me, but I have choice. I have choices. I can move away. I can own my feelings. I can use something, like the alchemy process and clear my feelings. I can allow them to go through me, and I can reflect to them. Of course we affect each other. We are not separate. And when people say, well, I can't know what you think, that's a bunch of lies. Yogis can know exactly what people think. That's a psychic known power. You can be inside someone's head and feeling their thoughts. You can be inside their body. God is inside everybody's thoughts and everybody's hearts and everybody's bodies. So the more like God you become, the more access you get to all that stuff behind the scenes. And you can affect people. You can mind control. Yeah, of course we do all that. So the truth is somewhere in the middle. We do not have to be controlled by what other people do to us, and they can't hook us and take us over, but we definitely are affecting each other. Yeah. And that's for us to explore. Show me the truth of it. But you already knew that because your BS detector came on and said that doesn't feel totally right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of the times when people say that to me, it's usually often it's when I've brought something up to them, that hurt or whatever. And I feel like they say that as a way of dismissing what's happened.
When they say, well, what do they say again? Remind our listeners.
Oh, well, let go of it. You don't have to be affected. No one makes you feel a way or, something like that,
Yeah.
No one can make you feel any way. You have to take responsibility for your triggers and your projections. And I mean, that's very true, but.
Exactly. But that's the paradox. Both are true, yes, but I can also take a spirit that is less evolved than you. You can manipulate and control them and make them feel certain ways.
Yes.
That's a fact. And, so we can also affect each other for good or for sadness. We can create a rupture, a hurting, in the energy fields of other beings. Of course we can. And we're learning this and learning to choose. Do we want to be controlling, selfish, and we don't care about others except just for what we can get out of them? Or do we want to respect boundaries and love and, try to... And either way, either path, like we talked about a couple of shows ago, both are kind of necessary in a sense for this particular universe of having duality. So we're learning both, I am learning how to operate my energies with other people.
Are they coming for you? Tobias?
Yeah, they regularly check in on me.
Right.
That's where those Jedi mind tricks come in handy.
Exactly. And you can always, and I like that. It's like, are they allowed to close off? Are they allowed to have a mental program that dismisses what I just shared with them? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do I feel about it? Do I want to punch through their wall and grab them by the throat and say, wake the F up?
I know that feeling well.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. So what would be and I have multiple choice, not just like A, B, C, D, E, We have multiple choice, 1,000 different parallel experiences. We can go, let me feel this differently. Let me allow them to be, how does God source experience us? He wants to share, is ready to share, and we're like, no, I don't want that. Right?
Yeah, I'd rather do this.
All the time we're like, no, don't give me love. I don't deserve it. I shouldn't be open to that. No. Or we're just programmed. So we say no all the time to the universe. So you're getting the same experience that God experiences. People saying no to you or being closed to you. I remember when God first shared...
It's the sufferings of Christ. There's this idea in the Bible that they talk about the sufferings of Christ.
Yeah.
What you're talking about.
Yeah. I know when one time I was bitching at, I say God, because it feels like something much bigger than me that's much wiser, and it feels like God. But it's also a whole bunch of other beings that don't need names, and angels and helpers and so forth. And I was bitching about, well, I feel completely not heard, and people don't even want the gifts or the things, that could help them. And he says, welcome to the club. I get rejected 1 trillion times every day on planet Earth.
I hate that club.
The hair club for men. No. and at the same time, it doesn't have to diminish us enjoying ourselves. Where is the place when I can allow others to be as closed as they want to be, and yet somehow that it doesn't diminish me having my private rollicking, rolling, ROFL, enjoying myself energetically? That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I want that for me. God says, hey, that's a better question than before where you were programmed that you have to wake everyone up. They're not gonna,
Yeah.
They're not going to wake up until they want to.
I've been wondering at that a lot, because I've had this compulsion in the past, that I've got to point out to people what's going on with them or whatever. And I don't want to live, in that anymore, where that is my main, mode. I have the discernment, but it's not constructive to be in that place of trying to get them to be something all the time,
Hallelujah. Oh, me too. I am so guilty of that. I am so guilty of that. It's like just the last year and a half, God has a sledgehammer the size of Mount Ararat. He's pounding me on the head, going, Tobias, stop trying to help people wake up. And I have the course of awakening. But the difference, it's ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. But the difference is and I have a big written thing right here. I'm here to reach the heart spirits, the open spirits, not to change denial spirits. I'm here to reach heart spirits. People are already open, right? Not to change denial spirits, meaning people saying denial. No, 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 I don't want to know. No, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Right? That's helping me.
That's beautiful.
Because that's how God does it. He's like, I'm here, but if you don't want me, I'm not there. And he doesn't get hurt. I mean, he might feel some compassion, sadness and stuff, but he doesn't feel insulted, that people don't want to hear from him. People are like, get out of here, God. I want my Cheetos and, I want to watch the rich bitches of Beverly Hills. That's all good. And that's that's a learning process that I think we have to go through, that we want to go through, because it has to do with free will and respect, and that seems to be a big guideline in this particular universe, the free will thing.
I think is it like moving from crusading to dancing with people?
Oh, that's nice.
You're moving out of crusading into just dancing with whoever will dance.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And I just have to say, we're running out of time here. We have about, less than a minute left. But Tobias, I lied, 45 seconds. Julia, thanks so much for your call. We have to close.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. It is a dance. And Tobias, I know you're kind of just making fun of yourself, telling people we don't need to force anyone to wake up. And here I have Course of Awakening, but I've never really seen you do that. I think you've found a really good balance and a really good role model for the rest of us. Myself included, that, feel the need to, force other people to wake up. So you're doing good work, Tobias. We're here because we want to be here, and people are going to your sessions and seminars because they want to be there, not because you're forcing them. So thank you for all of the beautiful work you do and for helping to curb some of these tendencies I have that we've talked about tonight and every other night. So thank you again. soulcounseling.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.